हाय, गुड आफ्टरनून। आज सोलो सलाटे है। सोलो सलाटे तो it'll be done faster, lesser ingredients, and not as much intensity. But we'll still stick to the basics. We'll go straight to the basics. So if you've come joined here, join the stream, please say hi. So I know that you have joined the stream. Otherwise, I don't realize if you're here. Solo salate. Yes, that's the way. That's rhyming. Okay, so why don't I allow you to ask me a question? Okay, let me start with a quiz. Between dogs and humans, who has more taste receptors? Between dogs and humans, which animal has more taste receptors? Do you understand my question? We both are mammals, dogs and humans. We both have receptors, but who has more? Acha, the rule of the thumb is that blades need to be sharpened. Sorry, I'm a little slow today. After 40 hours of fighting with the machine, I finally took a break, took a bath, and I realized how exhausted I was. Yeah, but the war was good. It was won. Yeah, the battle was successful, I would say. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just wait for a few more days. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe so you'll stay in touch. I will make sure that you're in touch. Today is a solo salate. I'm the only one eating it. So it's obviously going to be awesome. No questions asked. But I am going to keep it small and simple and fast. But I have a question for you. The question is, between dogs and humans, which of these two has more taste receptors? I mean, it's not a difficult question to ask. I mean, I'm sure you'll understand. Yeah, they can hear better, they can smell better. But when it comes to taste, we humans are better. We have more flavor. We can appreciate flavor more. And what's really interesting is that there is nothing called flavor. What are you saying? Sweet, salty, there are flavors. It has all been debunked. Science was completely wrong about the sense of flavors. And recently we found that they're not going to admit it, that's for sure. The scientific community will not admit. Yesterday I read something very interesting. I forgot. I wanted to tell you how these two scientists came up with something, and because they both had a fallout, third person came in and took the Thomas Edison ka to, of course, there are many such stories of him. But I'm talking about something very famous. I'll recollect and I'll check up my notes and I'll tell you. But for now, so flavor. NG Hakai, hi, hello, HLO. I like this. HLO. You've skipped 3 out of 6, 50%. But I'm still understanding what you're saying. Cool, oh? That's the nature of how humanity works. We are amazing. This language that we've come up with, these 26 letters that we join together, alphabets that we join together, make little words, then we join together, make sentences, make sense, make paragraphs, make prose, poetry, and therefore emotion. How crazy is this? No other animal does this. This is exclusive. It's a human thing. Art is a human thing, isn't it? Actually, that's not true. There are a couple of animals that do something very interesting. There's a bird called bower bird in Australia that does something very interesting. Puffer fish. These fishes create these elaborate, large. It's all for coitus though. That's the fact of it. Yeah, that is the principal governing force of everything on this planet. I'm not sure. I will reserve my comments as far as it comes to the human species, because I'm sure we are designed to do more than just copulate. But I will leave that to our individual choices. So hi, if you've joined in here, just please come and say hi so I know you've joined in and I will be able to chat with you. You can always be hidden. That there's nothing wrong in it. When I used to attend my college lectures, so we had two doors to enter the classroom from. These guys were smart. They had foreseen the future. They knew exactly what the problem is. So there were two doors to enter the classroom from. The first door was obviously closer to the professor, and the professor can see who's walking in. But the door at the back, just the back door, guess where I was running in and out of the classrooms? There was one professor whose class I would never miss. This guy he was the HOD, he was the head of a department of our class, and he would come and he would take so he would first of all show up before the other lectures is over. So this other teacher, she's got another 10 minutes to go, and this guy is standing outside and she's already sweating because he's the departmental head. So he's keeping an eye on her. Anyways, as soon as she's gone, he'll start. And you know what he'll do? He'll take the first 10 minutes to just make a graph. So with first couple of days, his class used to be like, okay, fine. Of course, nothing made much sense. His subject was called power electronics. It's about how do you control powerful machines, large current drawing things like motors and what have you not with electronics. It's a pretty neat idea. It's a pretty neat concept. Of course, he was just too good with his subject. But anyways, and he would spend the first 10 minutes drawing out the graph. We had a graph on our chalkboard. I don't know if you're the new generation, you probably don't know all of these ideas. I'm not sure. I've not been to a classroom, to an engineering classroom, but I don't think engineering is now being taught with such ideas. You need great teachers. That's what makes a good school. Dronacharya was the reason why those guys were good at what they did. And he was a sought after teacher, let me tell you. Parshuram was a sought after teacher. But he didn't have time for anybody. He once told FO to Shiv also. Said, bro, don't bother me. Get out from here. Anywho, so, well, these gods are crazy people. That's what they were. Today, I'm a little slow. I have to apologize. It's been a long 40, 45, 50 hours of struggle and fight with a machine. Went well. Nobody died. But I've been advised to eat less of chili. But we don't listen to advice, do we? Actually, I'm not feeling too well. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm a little, it could be what I've been eating. I've been eating crap, honestly. I've just not been eating good food. I'm lucky I still have kaiben with me. If you don't know what is kaiben, please ask me. I'll tell you. It's good food. It's top food. If you've not started eating it, please don't wait. Get to it as soon as possible. It's a oil that comes when you squish, cold press cannabis sativa seeds. And my recipe, I have cannabis sativa and flax, because raw cannabis sativa will reach about 2.1, 2.2. That's the ratio of omega 6 to omega 3. But that's not enough. So the golden omega ratio is somewhere around 3, 4. So I add some flax. That's the recipe. It took me about 2 years to find out what ratio should I add it in. Of course. Now actually I keep changing it, the recipe. I keep editing it a little bit. But now I think the ratio I have is absolutely on point. It doesn't, flax removes the flavor. Yeah, the more flax you add, it's bitter. It just kills the fun of the oil. But hemp seeds by themselves. So, well, I can tell you this. Incidentally, there is no plant called hemp. Yeah, this might come as a shocker to you. Stay with me. There is nothing called hemp. The word hemp means fiber. It just so happens that this plant gives amazing fiber, which is how it came to be called hemp. But as you correctly must have joined the dots, the pharmacology industry figured out very quickly that this is a plant that's going to be awesome. It is going to give us lots of dollars. So they quickly jumped on the bandwagon, and long story cut short, American government banned the cultivation of this crop. They were the world's largest growers of hemp, and then they banned it. Actually, they had banned the growing of cannabis sativa. That was the illegal plantation that was growing on. That was the contraband which the governments didn't want to float around. Now under that guise, people started growing under the guise of growing hemp. They started growing cannabis. Hey, what hemp? People are growing barley on the surface, and below the ground, they're growing cannabis. So the government officials came knocking on their doors and they said, "Shut it down." Now, some of them were growing on the surface of the soil. This was a plant that was really tall, which had big leaves. It had almost no psychotropic material. But the government officer said, "Listen, let's not take a chance." Can you guess and tell me which year the last hemp farm in America shut down? Did you hear my question? Which year the last hemp farm in America shut down? You'll be quite surprised. It's not even been 100 years. 1957. I think if my memory serves me right, it was in Wisconsin. Can you believe this? And we have literally forgotten about the merits of this wonderful plant. The beautiful part is that, yeah, it's got the lovely fiber. Fiber is 6 times stronger than steel, gram to gram. 6 times. I'm not making this up. You can read my book. That's a compilation of a bunch of amazing things about this plant. Else you can ask me, ping me. You can ask ChatGPT. There are a bunch of really cool people out there in the world who are doing some fascinating things with this plant. It is such an amazing, it's just amazing. It's nothing short of it. It's a gorgeous plant. It's beautiful, and its biology is really amazing. Okay, so they pop, then they'll grow. They all grow together. They don't choose a gender. Up until an age, they will not choose an gender. And then one of them will become male and the other ones will become females. That's why they say you have to remove the males, right? You must have heard about this. And that's where the story starts from. When you remove the male, you sexually frustrate the females. That's actually what you're doing. And therefore, I'm adding some ginger. And that's what, so they have these glandomes. They have these small microscopic, they're like holders. And on those holders, white pollen like material comes and collects. That's the THC, CBD, CBN. There are like 500 odd cannabinoids that have been identified already. The medical fraternity doesn't agree to all of them. It gives credit to about shade over 130 of them. Hi, Lovepreet Singh. What's happening, bro? Lovepreet Singh, I love your name, man. You've got love in your name. Tum to hero. Mahara ek minute. You are just amazing. Which part of the world are you from, Lovepreet? So I'm sorry, I've just been warned that it could be a girl also. I'm sorry, I don't mean. But even then, you still have love in your name. But which part of the world are you from? Sister. Sister का भी sis होता है क्या? Sis. Bro and sis. तो आज क्या बन रहा है? आज salad बन रहा है. Salad. Salate. Solo salate. Solo salate means what? Salate is the original word of salad. And solo क्यों? क्योंकि आज मैं खाने वाला अकेला हूँ. आज मेरे दोनों प्रोड्यूसर नहीं खा रहे. वो एक की तबीयत ठीक नहीं है, दूसरे वाले को इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. उसका क्या है ना, उसको फ्रूट्स में नहीं है, उसको ही वांट्स, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द फोर लेगेड वन, उसको ना बेंजामिन फ्रैंकलिन नाम है उसका. हाँ, कुत्ता है, ठीक है, ओके फाइन, कुत्ता है. बट सही आई लव दिस. व्हाट डज दिस आइकन मीन एग्जैक्टली? 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 भाई, 6 बार. कहाँ के हो तुम, लवप्रीत? विच पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड आर यू फ्रॉम? वेयर आर यू बेस्ड? चलो, वेयर आर यू बेस्ड करंटली? वेयर आर यू? आई एम करंटली इन पुणे. तुमने पुणे, आई एम श्योर यू फेमिलियर विद पुणे. पुणे has become a big city now. I mean, everybody knows about Pune. In fact, a lot of Firangis also now know about Pune, and they travel here, and they'll come to the Pate area and they'll be like, we are in the Pate area and all. पूना बहुत छोटा सा शहर है. मैं यहाँ पूना आया था 25 years ago. And I'm not kidding you, man. This city was, the average age of a Puneite was 25, less than that. Because यहाँ सब बच्चे पढ़ते थे. It is called the Oxford of the East. I don't know if you know this. Yeah, Pune is called the Oxford of the East. तो यहाँ इतने colleges थे, हैं आज भी हैं. इतना था सीन की मतलब बच्चे ही रहते थे यहाँ बस all the time. एक ट्रेन है झेलम, जालिम झेलम. Sorry, I've changed my language. I just realized I've started speaking in English and I've changed over to Hindi. That's my native. Native. That's my language that I speak in naturally. So I enjoy speaking Hindi, but I've been told I should not be speaking in Hindi because everybody doesn't understand it. And I'm like, yeah, now that's a whole new world of pain. So you've still not told me, Lafpreet, where are you from? अच्छा ठीक है चलो मत बताओ. If you're in Pune, that's fine. If you're not in Pune, then it's also fine. But तुमने hemp seed सुना है? Hemp seed. Have you heard of this word called hemp seed? HEMPSEED. हाँ, गांजे के पौधे का बीज. Actually, the thing is, there are 170 plants in this family, okay? It's not one plant. 170 plants. चलो मैं तुमको एक मजेदार चीज बताता हूँ. लौंग होती है ना, लौंग, clove. You take one clove and you put it in your mouth. What will happen? Your mouth just dries up, becomes numb. You put 10. No, don't do it. You will have to be taken to the hospital. Hear me out. Cloves have eugenol. Eugenol is a cannabinoid. What? No, don't get excited. It's a cannabinoid. Cannabinoids are chemical compounds that are naturally growing that engage with our endocannabinoid nervous system. उस नर्वस सिस्टम का नाम है एंडोकैनेबिनॉइड नर्वस सिस्टम, इसीलिए इसको कैनेबिनॉइड्स कहते हैं. ये जो पौधा है कैनबिस सटिवा, ये एक है पौधा. ऐसे 170 पौधे. अभी गैस स्पेकुलेशन है, कौन जाएगा पहाड़ों में ऊपर? हिमालय पे कौन चढ़ेगा? तुम चढ़ोगे? अरे वहां जानवर नहीं चढ़ सकते, इंसान, हवा नहीं आती वहां, तो वहां चढ़ना मुश्किल है. मुश्किल नहीं, नामुमकिन है. इसीलिए किसी को ज्यादा पता नहीं है कि एग्जैक्टली कितने प्लांट्स हैं, बट 170 का फेयर स्पेकुलेशन है, 160-170 पौधों का. और ये जो कैनेबिनॉइड्स हैं, ये हर साल कोई ना कोई. I just started speaking in Hindi again. Basically what happens is that these are cultivars. These are people who are growing cannabis in various parts of the world, and they will come up with some new cannabinoid profile every time. Some new cannabinoid they'll discover every time. So there are more than 500 such, but the medical fraternity doesn't. They say 130 odd cannabinoids we have. And cannabinoids you can find in carrots. What's up, Dan? Thank you, Kevin. Your handle is Dan. Thank you, Kevin. Bro, what were you thinking? Trill. What does trill mean? Chill, thrill. What are you pointing at, bro? You know what I've done? I've chopped all my veggies. Record time. 19 minutes. Yeah, today I'm the solo guy eating the salad, so I'm not going to go too heavy on the ideas, but I'll show you what I've done. I've just chopped up some apples, now there's some conspiracy behind these orange things, okay? These are not oranges. This is not tangerine. This is not mandarin. It's very tasty though. So here's what's happening. I go to the shopkeeper and I tell him, can I have some tangerine? And he tell me, no bhaiya, this is mandarin. I'm like, bro, last week I took this and you said this is tangerine. He said, no, that was mandarin. I'm like, they look exactly the same. So that's the thing, this is not mandarin, this is not tangerine, this is something new. We'll just call it tasty. Tasty orange. Sorry, bad joke. Alright, chalo dekho vinaigrette kya ban raha hai. This is apple cider. If you like vinegar, remove vinegar. Use apple cider instead. Apple cider has a wonderful aroma, the smell of this, and it goes very well with salads. So you can stop putting vinegar in your salads. In fact, lemon juice भी skip कर सकते हो. You can go straight in. Wow, wonderful. I have not got any spoons today. Can you believe this? I have no spoons. Smashing. क्या करेंगे अभी? This is kakwi. I'm adding a kakwi based. This is kakwi sugarcane juice. Okay, sugarcane juice that gets. Okay, I've got something which we can use. Let's use this. I just needed something to mix it, right? Kakwi is sugarcane. This is made out of, basically you cook the sugarcane juice. You cook it for a couple of, I think you have to cook it for a long time, okay? 2, 3, 4 hours, maybe a day too. But then it becomes like molasses and it starts to have this nice smoky flavor which has got a hint of beer in it. Who doesn't like beer? Did you know beer is the oldest beverage? Sorry, I'm just tripping on this beer. This thing is so tasty. It's called Kakvi. K-A-A-K-V-I. K-A-A-K-V-I. Kakvi. I'm going to add some raisins. They go very well with this. So I've got some ginger inside. I've got some apple cider inside. I've got some, now I'm going to add some salt. And I've added some raisins in it. Some oregano. This is one of the herbs that I really enjoy. I recently discovered goes very well, and this is the cayenne oil. I'll be making this again tomorrow. Tuesdays and Fridays I make it. Please come have a see how I make it. It's just great nutrition. Yeah. So I was telling you, seeds don't carry anything psychotropic. That is the part that is interesting. The seed does not have anything psychotropic about it. You have to clean it, of course. If you don't clean the seeds properly, then your finished oil that you're coming out with, you're pressing the stems and the stalks and the leaves. They do carry psychotropic material. So you have to wash the seeds really well. You can't wash them. I meant to say hand clean them. Sorry. No, you can't let water touch the seeds. You know, if you allow, after the seed has been cold pressed and oil comes out, a drop of water will ruin a liter of oil. It's just so crazy because it's so nutrient dense. So the fungus and the bacteria, they love it. It's meant for our biome inside. So in our case, we just quickly seal it and we pack it up and seal it, put it into a dark place, and then it is shipped all over the country. It's of course tasted before we bottle it, and the seeds are cleaned too, twice. But enough on that. Let's look at what the salad is coming out today. I'm the only one eating today, so I can, let me predict the future. Will it be good? Will it be bad? It'll be awesome. Just wait and watch. I predicted the future. Ginger, that's a key element. Ginger and black salt if you're doing fruits. And I think I will add some black salt. I added regular salt already, but we can do a little bit of black salt. Check this out. I would add some basil, but then I have to go to the roof and get it. Yeah, to the roof and get it. Lazy me. Wow. The ginger is tasting so good. It's bringing that spice. Ginger it was the most popular spice back in the day. You could buy a slave with it, a sheep with it. Yeah, you could exchange ginger for everything. Okay, this is good. Apple cider, chili. There's walnut in it. I'm thinking I'm going to add some sesame. Yeah, they should be roasted though. That when you roast the seeds, the flavor really jumps out. But that's okay. Something you can make for yourself very quickly. It took me what? This is the 25th minute running. 25 minutes from start to finish. Cool. So I'll go enjoy this and I'll see you again tomorrow with a brand new effort. Mm. See you around. Bye.